It's devilishly easy to make your own Halloween drawings. So many people have asked me to make a compilation of my favorite Halloween drawing tutorials, make them step by step, and so here we are. Everything from how to draw a haunted mansion in like a minute, to jack-o'-lanterns and ghosts and arachnophobia warning spiders or witches or devils. There's all sorts of things, so I hope you enjoy this video, and thank you so much for being an art friend. If you can draw a simple house like this, you can actually draw a haunted mansion. It's easier than you might expect. It starts with 3 straightish lines to make a trapezoid. Notice how my lines are wobbly. Don't worry about it, it'll make it look more haunted. Use your ghostly hand to draw a line down before connecting those 2 lines. Draw a triangle up here for later. Now some lines down for columns, flat lines for a porch and steps, a square or a rectangle for a door. Now have fun making windows however you want. Draw some rectangles, maybe some little arches, even a circle. Try adding a bunch or just a few, but I'm not going to just say add detail. Add a second line to your roof to make it pop, and then add outlines to each of the windows. From here, make a big crack through the middle of the building like it's barely standing up. To make it look like a mansion, we're adding this important line down here. We'll get back to it later. For now, let's board up the windows with some big diagonal lines. You can also board up the door or any of the top windows as well. Now this next part might look scary, but it's really simple. It's just straight lines on the roof and some straight lines on the bottom little section here. Add your creativity by adding cracks wherever you want. Creaking noises make it more haunted, so add a weather vane on the top. Or you can make the window broken in by adding some sharp shapes that point toward the center and then coloring the background. We're close, but we're not done yet. There's 2 natural elements that I want to add that'll heighten the spook. Drawing a zigzag line that gets thicker makes a great base for a tree. Or add dark scribbles along the bottom for bushes. Finally, getting back to this triangle from before, we turn it into a tower. Shade it easily with vertical lines on the roof, horizontal lines on the tower, and little vertical dashes to make the bricks. Now you'll notice only a few of the windows are dark, so make sure you shade in all of your windows dark and add a big spooky moon in the sky. Oops, I draw my pen on it. Look, it's impossible to mess up. You can draw a realistic bat, not like that. Start with the shape of a candle flame. These twin flames become the ears. Draw 2 lines up to start the wings. One more time before the most important part. Draw a set of 2 dashes off that top line 3 times. We're almost finished up. Bat, wait, there's more. Draw a small dashed circle for the face, a little circle for the body, and then 2 lines for the feet. Connecting all these lines you drew with arches, you batter believe, is the most fun part. Now this comes together quicker than you might expect with just some dots for eyes and shading on the wings. Did you know that anyone can draw, a ghost? No, we've ghosts to do better than that. Start with a random wiggly line V. Draw a sideways teardrop, and then from each of the curves, draw a short line up. The lines don't even have to be that straight, but make sure they don't cross that original wiggly line. End with another sideways teardrop before drawing 2 small arcs on each side with a big arc that goes between them in the middle. We're almost done, but don't ghost me, because you can level up your drawing with a little bit of shading on those fabric wrinkles. Speaking of fabric wrinkles, add a few more dashes. Ah! Where'd that face come from? Oh shit. It's Halloween and you don't have a costume? Take a stained old white shirt, find the middle of it, then draw an upside down V. From there at the top, you're gonna draw a U. Connect these 2 shapes with a big loose C. And then a backwards C on the other side. It doesn't matter if they're uneven, because you'll fill it with hoops. And those hoops with hoops. It may look complicated, but it's literally only 1 line. Tracing inside of the hoop. From there, wobbly rectangles to make a spine. And if you have sleeves, draw some simple dog bones on them to take it to the next level. Tag someone who needs a costume. A drawing you didn't know you needed it in your life? Even if you're not an artist, it's easier than you might expect to draw things. Finish up this shape with 2 little lumps, and then draw some big parentheses around the outside. Now we're going to draw in the face of the cat. The cat looks a little bit grumpy because it's stuck inside this shape. Quick, how to draw a leaf. Line with some lumps around it. Now back into turning our mystery shape into a gorgeous pumpkin. Not just any pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern made with just 3 triangles. It's easy to draw if you follow along. We'll give this drawing a whole lot more depth with just a few easy lines. Cool random art? That's why it's not an artist, not a problem. Here's a drawing you didn't know you needed in your life. It's easier than you might expect to draw things. And I want to help you draw whatever you want. This particular person is missing a foot. Oh, and the top half of their body too. But that's not a problem because they're still fire. If you're looking to make some cute and spooky Halloween drawings, check out the tutorials on my page. Thank you. It's easier than you might expect to draw a realistic jack-o'-lantern. All you need is the letter C, 4 times, facing inwards like so. Connect those C's with little arches. Draw the number 9 on top of your pumpkin, an arch and a dash. The jack-o'-lantern face is just as easy. Dash and a C facing down. Put that in a triangle. This dash here adds a lot of depth. Triangle nose, so you carve your pumpkin with square teeth or little fangs like this. Arc between before finishing the smile. Now swap your pen for some color. I usually draw my pumpkins orange, but did you know you can use green to shade that orange pumpkin? An easy realistic effect effect, which is why I say, try using a square to draw a hand. When you use the square as a palm, you can just draw single lines for your fingers, and then do a triangle for your thumb. It's easier than you might think. Having a stick figure hand makes your outline super simple. But don't stop there, because these few lines come in very handy. Everyone has these small wrinkles where their fingers bend, so maybe try using your own fingers to draw along with this tutorial, because you never know when you might. 3 levels of drawing a ghost. Level 3 is easier than you might expect. Level 1, you don't really know how to draw a ghost, and you make the face too small. Level 2, I figured out last year. Draw a squiggly line in the shape of a V, add 3 little lumps on top, finally dashes up to make the fabric folds. But in level 3, you realize that a ghost is really just a spirit reaching from beyond the veil. You gotta be careful because you might just draw a few lines and then summon someone. An easy and spooky Halloween doodle. Start by drawing a U with a U inside. Draw 2 little ovals near the bottom. From there, color in the shape you just made. Put a W below it. It comes together quicker than you might expect. Let me demonstrate how to draw the demon's body. You could add legs or tentacles, but I personally like to make it a bit ghostly. Add some classic demon bits, like the little arrow at the end of the tail, and a small pitchfork. Happy Halloween, my art friend. Why is this paper hairy? Well, I get this question all the time, along with others that suggest I shave the paper. This paper is hairy because it's made of elephant poop. What you're seeing as hairs are actually just fibers of digested plant materials that have been recycled into paper. Get your own on my website. Easy Halloween silhouettes. Start with an oval and a circle. 4 lines into it on either side. Draw lines down off the bottom 4 and lines up off the top 4. Oh, look at that, it's a spider. Silhouette number 2. A black cat is just as easy to draw as that spider. Put a triangle on one side and connect it to the 2 arches. Fill in those arches. Now it's time to add the spooktacular fur off the back of the cat. That was quick and easy, but now we got the 3rd and last one, a bat. You might be surprised how quick this comes together. Just 3 lines down and swoops between them. And then color it in. Drop a follow, and that's how you got. You won't believe how easy this cool drawing is. Start with just 2 simple triangles that have an S at the bottom. From there, take that pencil and throw it straight out because you don't need it anymore. And instead, grab your pens. Put rounded corners on each of those triangles. Both the easy and the difficult start the same way. Draw lines in on each side and an outward curve along the bottom. Now trace the S that you drew before. This one ends in an S, this other starts in an S. But these aren't your typical mushrooms, so while they may have a wobbly oval at the bottom, they're gonna look a little different at the end. Erase your pencil marks and add some gills. It's time to jack up these gills. Add a jack-o'-lantern face and some vertical stripes to make these mushrooms into mushroom pumpkin jack-o'-lanterns. Oh, and don't forget to add color. Happy drawing, my friends. Easier than you might expect to draw a crow. No, not like that. Instead, start with 2 random arcing lines for wings that are flapping, and then fill in those wings with some feathers. Don't be nervous, the feathers are just dashes. To know where to put the body, go ahead and draw a little circle for the eye. Then draw a big arc shape back to the first wing. Color it in, and then we'll add a tail. Now, I was going to tell you a crow joke, but I didn't want it to fly over your head. Experiment with shapes to add personality to your art. Finish the first eye and draw 1 more. You may be asking yourself, why add another eye? Well, I say, why not? Here's a quick and easy way to draw pumpkins.
Not just a circle and a stem, something that's properly gorgeous. Jokes aside, start with some parentheses like this, and then do a J and an upside down U, some lumps between, add a stem. If you like simple drawings, follow for more.
Did you know anyone can draw a realistic owl with only letters? Start with a W and an O with a divot in the top. Drawing this is so easy and fun, it's a hoot. For the wings, draw a J lying on its side. Draw the legs with V's, like they're outstretched to catch something. Draw the back talon with a letter I. The tail also starts with a backwards J. From there, a parenthesis with a J below. Connect those two J's with a bunch of V's. The wings are also drawn with little V's, or J's if that's easier to think about. A line down and a line up, over and over again. We're almost finished up, but I will let you know a little secret. You can learn to draw nature from my book. It's easier than you might expect to draw a bat. Not like that. Start with this leaf shape, draw a circle with dots and then an oval below. To draw a more realistic bat wing, start with just 2 straight lines. Off of the top, you'll draw another set of 2 straight lines. From that same top point, draw 2 more lines out. It looks complicated, but trust me, it's very simple. Check it out. And then just 3 straight lines down for the tail before my favorite part, drawing in an arched line connecting each of those lines from before. Now, I'm not just going to say add detail, because I want to show you where to shade, both underneath and on top of your lines, leaving the center of the wings light and see-through. To draw the face, just 2 dots and a line. Draw it over and over to make your own stop motion animation. Save this video for later so you don't have to wing it. 3 levels of drawing a skull. Level 1. If you draw a skull like this, you're dead wrong. It's flat and you've forgotten the nose. At level 2, you can draw a skull a little bit better. Even though you remember the nose, you might forget the jaw. But a level 3 artist knows the structure underneath. This allows the artist to draw with form, not just a flat object. Here's one exercise to try to become a level 3 artist. Draw skulls with and without reference, facing in every direction. Practice fitting them in between, making them into weird shapes. Draw with and without structure underneath. Happy drawing, my friends. 3 levels of drawing a spider. At level 1, you know there's a difference between the head and the body, but you still don't really know what to do with the legs. At level 2, you're more confident. Head and body, and then 4 lines out on each side with 4 lines down and 4 lines up. You even remember to put the pinchers. But a level 3 artist knows that spiders aren't flat. They know that legs are not just lines, they're 3D objects. Which makes me curious, are you an artist that thinks in 2D or 3D? That's a lot of spiders in 30 seconds. If you can draw a small upside down triangle, you can actually draw a whole jack-o'-lantern. And I'll show you how to color it. Step 1. Place 2 dots above that triangle. Use those dots to draw a skinny triangle. Now draw a line in, and when you get to the nose, draw a V. Connect with an arced line and another here. Place the bottom teeth inside of the top teeth. Now this is the most important step. Draw an M or like a W shape up here, then draw the number 9 and an arc over it. Now you can skip this part, but I like to add some vertical lines in my stem to give it some texture. But we want to make the face 3D. A line in and up from the corner of the eyes gives your jack-o'-lantern pumpkin a cutout effect. Let's do the same with the teeth. It looks complicated, but it's easier than you might expect. For example, just draw a Y inside the nose. They are usually a circle, but a pumpkin can be any shape, so pay attention to these creases here and think about the idea of a circle. But instead, just add 2 arced lines. On top of those lines, connect with arches. For the bottom, you guessed it, it's more arches that connect in front and then behind, like so. Now we'll make some thin arced lines in front of the face that we just made. Pumpkins can have a lot of texture, so we're gonna add some little blemishes with dashes all over the surface of the pumpkin. Now it's looking pretty good, but we're not stopping here. Add a dark line below your pumpkin, like a little bit of shadow, and let me show you a little bit of color theory. We're going to use blue as our shadow color today for 2 reasons. First, to unify our shadows across the whole piece, and second, because it's the opposite of orange, so it'll give a really nice effect. I typically shade using these small little flicking strokes and leave some white showing through at the top. Add a yellow glow in the jack-o'-lantern to make it look lit up, and add green not just to your stem, but also to your pumpkin. Happy drawing, my friend.